Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. It's been kind of a strange game, I think. We're just never going to see most of this galaxy. We're well on our way to our victory condition, and we should make sure that we are headed toward it at the maximum possible speed here. Basically, what I'm thinking is, I should see if we can get the cram exam act back in. I know that it's not a huge amount of science. It's 3 per citizen on a 77-point population, but we do have some percentage science boosts and stuff. Like, I think it's worth getting it active if we can afford the disapproval. So, our approval rating is very heavily weighted by Ibella and then secondarily by Warden. So, how would these systems feel if they were to lose a bunch of approval? Actually, Warden is way over 100, like really far over. Sorry, Ibella. And Warden is similarly quite far over 100. 24 approval from Calgaros. That's pretty significant. So what if we cut the Dirty Hands Act? We have most of our really high-value science buildings built already. We can go ahead and lose the industry cost reduction and put the Cram Exam Act in its place. Yep, we stay devoted. Neither of the big colonies even dropped below 100. Okay, because I think we're at the point where growth is less important now because there's a much less time left in the game. So where does that put us on science? We're near 7k. What is my current omniscience boost? It's only 10%. I guess this is a better way to do that. Yeah, so it's not very large. When we start researching Power of the Endless, which no other player has, I'm sure, we'll be getting that full 50% bonus, and that will be pretty great. Also, I think we should get aggressive. I think the war's going pretty well. So we need to repair these ships, and then we need to take them south and start messing stuff up. So I need money. Also, we're going to go bankrupt if I just hit end turn here. Fortunately, we have a ton of strategics. Sorry, I've already forgotten what I needed. 43 something? Yeah, okay, 43 something. Oh, that's a pretty good price. We can just, well, why don't we take that up a little bit? I think we can afford to lose the antimatter. I don't think that's a big deal. Alright, big repairs, and let's move out. It would be better to take Osulo, obviously. We have this one space invader. We probably need to produce some more siege ships. I think we want to go to Osulo. So let's see if we can hold it. Let's see if we can survive there. And if we can, we'll move in some siege ships. I want to finish this medium, join it up with these ships to be a secondary fleet, and then we'll start producing mediums on Ibella. Assuming that there's no big science moves to make. This is not super helpful here. It's still one science per citizen, so I guess let's make it, but it's not a big deal. And then magnets with all of the siege modules, right? Sorry, we have exoscience stations now. We should definitely swap these planets to exoscience stations. They're getting actually no benefit from the food. In fact, that's so important. Let's put it all the way at the top of the queue. Let's slow down the smasher for it. Actually, there's a number of places where we ought to do that thing. Where we are done with food. Even in the places where we're not done with food, it might be advisable. I'm just thinking, again, that growth is a lot less valuable now since there's so much less time to grow left in the game. This is important. Man, it's taking multiple turns to swap our planetary specializations. Like, we have so little industry in this game. It's kind of remarkable that we're doing as well as we are, I think. I'm going to put all this dust stuff on the back burner. It's not that it's not important, it's just less important. And Placidus... we should set this one up as soon as we have it colonized as well. Alright, and we could sell a bunch more stuff and try to rush some ships out. Well, how expensive are these magnets? Like 4k each? That's kind of a lot. Let's let some stuff build naturally. Let's see what the situation is at Osulo before we make any weird decisions. Okay, once again, the science queue slightly misreporting how long it was going to take for us to get our tech done. Alright, so we're 11 turns on this. We can probably bring that down. For example, there is a very small chance if we took Forgotten Science we get super lucky and just get a really powerful tech, but I think Respect the Dead is a much more sensible way to go about this. Alright, obviously you would like a truce. Whoa, she's really laying into it. That's a lot of money. And how much do these systems actually help me? I guess that's a question. How much do I care about taking their systems? It's... If we can get control of a 22 population system that has, and these are all Riftborn, or at least mostly Riftborn, that is a lot of extra science. We should definitely do this. What do we have here? A couple of invaders. That's a shame. Because we don't have anything in position to capture them and add them to our army. I mean, obviously we'll beat them. A competitive quest started. Invisible chains. Build 3 gamma analysis platforms in order to trigger a hyperspace anomaly that will free a trapped virtual endless. Yeah, that would be cool. Gamma analysis platforms, I believe, are science buildings, right? Yeah, extra science, especially on huge and large planets, which we have one of in this system. I mean, maybe we put all of the war construction on the back burner? I'm not convinced that we're going to win this battle that's about to happen here next turn when we arrive. Okay, this is large, that's going to be small. We don't really have that many huge planets. That one's huge, but we don't have access to it, obviously. Gas planets are they all large, or I think some of them are huge. Yeah, I mean, it's still good. It's just not great. We do need dust, don't we? We still actually have science buildings to build in a couple of places. Boy, alright. Let's prioritize getting this huge dust world. We're gonna have to make some money here. So we are upping our research rate as quickly as we reasonably can. We're still taking an industry hit from Toys for Boys, but we need the approval, don't we? Honestly, maybe not. We're minus 46 from Cram Exam Act. So, 84. Yeah, this would still be at 100, even if we lost the Toys for Boys. Hold on, let's cut that and see what it does to our approval level. We can always put it back in. Keeps us devoted, but only just. And then we could put in something like... I mean, we could do this. It's not a huge amount of extra science, but it's also not 0 extra science. And most of the other laws that we have access to are 0 extra science. Could get need to breed. I guess we're about to have a battle. What might be a pretty large battle. Maybe we should do this just for a turn. We can afford it. I'm going to refuse the truce. Maybe that was a bad idea, because I think we may lose this battle, but let's give it a shot at least. If we take over one of their mediums during the battle, that might allow us to hold on and win a secondary battle. It does look like they're being a lot more careful with their manpower now. All of these ships are totally full. I guess we'll see what happens. "10 turns to power the Endless. At that point, we'll probably be set for approval for the rest of the game. We'll get a bunch of extra points of stats, and then from there... I mean, we can just queue this up, right? There's no version of this where I veer off. We're looking at a turn 102 victory right now, which we will be able to accelerate some. Yeah, the war stuff might be a distraction. It might be, again, the case that we just can't make it happen fast enough for it to affect our victory. I guess we're about to find out. Oh, we're being offered a free hero. Okay, obviously you guys have to get out of here. They're being given a reasonable chance of succeeding, but I don't think that's accurate. I kind of hate the fact that we stole a long-range ship and a short-range ship from them. These guys would prefer to be at long range, so we'll play short. I imagine they just run here, right? Like, that's not actually a fight that happens. Oh, wow. Okay, well, glad I had the Spoils of War Act running. It's not a huge payout, but it's a payout that I'm surprised to get at all. Okay, definitely more science. I think we are not in a place where we need more influence anymore. We managed to solve that particular problem. Placidus has finished some stuff. Do we want to just jump everybody over to Placidus 2, despite the fact that we will not grow quickly? Yeah, I think so. Because like I'm saying, I think we're somewhat past the point of growth being the most important thing. And there's an anomaly here, so this'll do well. It is a large planet? Okay, so that's cool for gamma analysis. We definitely want to go graviton-shielded laboratories first. 4 per large is actually going to be way less than following up with a research lab. And then we would do these, but like the game's going to be over. Alright, and let's decide on a hero. I think there's some version of this, right, where we recruit a guardian and try to... I think can you assign a hero? No, you can't assign a hero unless the fleet's in your territory. So actually, this can't affect this, so let's go ahead and do the battle. Alright, I am with you on the read that this is probably going to end poorly for me. So they have a variety of optimal ranges in this fleet. Actually, really hard to tell what the right play is going to be here. So, what do I think they're going to do, battle tactics-wise? I guess that's an important question. They have enough manpower to do 3 flotillas. They have a ship that would like to be at short range, a ship that would like to be at long range, and a ship that doesn't really care but will probably go long. So I would expect to see something like revive and repair, or like, you know, there are long, short, long tactics that we might see from them here. We would prefer to have our spirit, one of our spirits at long and one of our spirits at short. We didn't actually bring that plan. And then with the Smasher, it doesn't matter. We just want to be out of the way, pretty much. So we do, like, barrage fire? And try to guess... Yeah, I guess we do barrage fire. This ship is still somewhat effective at medium range. They would prefer to stay at long more than they would like to come to short. Maybe we should sacrifice some of the damage from the missile ship and just ride right up on them. To try to blunt the damage from their ships a little bit. You want to be in this flotilla. Yeah, alright. Let's see if this works. Here's hoping. I think this is going to end in sadness for us, in a way that is maybe also going to make them more confident than I would like with continuing the war, but maybe we'll still be able to get a truce out of it afterward. And any ship destructions we get here are, you know, free science for us, so it's not like it would be wasted even if we did lose, as long as we take something with us. And again, if we manage to get a capture here, like it could be very interesting. I do not like how these paths have worked out, because our Smasher is going to have a hard time getting good firing angles, I think. Actually, never mind. It should be able to hit these and these in the early battle, and then if it survives through to the late, it will be able to fire into the backside of that flotilla. This might be okay. Oh my god, that's a lot of missiles. Okay, here come the boarding pods. It's a good hit. I don't know if... Well, I mean, we're doing it pretty fast. We need 2 more volleys to hit. I don't think we have that. They managed to destroy the spirit on this... Oh, we traded spirits. It looks like we may win the small battle very, very narrowly. Yeah, this is dead. That's a shame. Oh, it survived. If it can fire 1 more volley before it dies, we may still get this thing. Oh, I think I saw launches occur. No, it didn't get him off. Shoot. We would totally have had this thing. And we lost our ship over here. So yeah, that was just a huge loss for us. We do get free damage on this medium ship. Oh, it's firing cross flotilla for like all the way over here. No, those are just shots that missed. They were supposed to hit this guy. So we'll do some meaningful damage here, at least. Ah, that was so close. If I'd had both of the Smashers together, we would have been in really good shape. Okay, well, I vote we back off. Probably this war is not going to turn out that well for me. We got a little bit of science out of that. So let's see, a level 4 hero. Unfortunately, it's not going to contribute a huge amount to this game. Who's going to give us the most at a low level? The Unfallen is going to be food and influence. And then influence, eventually. This Imperial guy is also going to be influence focused. So we take the Sophon, right? Because the Sophon's the only one who has any science at all. But this is not great. We like do this. We have plus 10 industry per anomaly on colonized planets. So this guy should rule somewhere where we have a lot of people on a colonized planet, or on a planet with anomalies. This is not terrible. We could bounce some more people over to... In fact, we definitely should bounce some more people over to here. So we have some important stuff to do. This might not be a bad place, actually. Would be another 10 industry. Speed up this optics research lab. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not just 10 industry, of course. It's also the extra industry from optimal operations expert. Probably ought to do that. And then, yeah, like pretty much we just need to use dust to rush relevant constructions. So let's sell some stuff. I think the odds that we engage in much more like actual war are pretty low. Also, we totally have the hero recruiting tech, and I have not recruited heroes. Are these heroes valuable? Dust and dust, but not nearly enough to get out from under our losses. And this hero would come in at level 1, so we probably wouldn't even see Blue Sky Speculator before the end of the game. In fact, we almost certainly wouldn't. And you are a very small amount of approval, followed by food and food. Honestly, I don't think these heroes are worth the dust. I think we should get this dust and then use it to rush constructions. So we have all the ships that I think I want to build already in the queue. We may as well sell off our resources. Okay, 22k. Let's get some stuff done. What is most valuable? This is going to be 2 science per citizen on 2 of our planets, and then 6 on this one, right? Large, yeah. So that's a fair amount. Do we get better science returns from rushing stuff in other places? This is actually something we should be building here, but that'll get done on its own. I don't need to worry about that. On Placidus, yeah, I think the very high population on Ibella is going to make this the better play. So, okay, what's the actual number? We have a population of 8 here. So this is 48 plus 30. That's 78 science flat, and then that's modified upward by percentage bonuses, such as the Optics Institute. Or is that what that's called? My brain. It's Friday, yo. My brain is off already. Optics Research Labs. Would we be better off pushing to finish a graviton-shielded laboratory anywhere, is what I'm thinking. Here, we have a population of 5, so this is 65 science, which will not yet be modified up by a research lab, because we would also have to buy the research lab. What's the science yield of that? So the research lab also would increase this amount. Like, we could buy... We can't buy both. We don't quite have enough money. Here we have the big flat bonus already, but 25% science here is considerable. Yeah, so that's our current winner, I think, is finishing the optics lab on Airy. Actually, we have enough dust to do both, though, don't we? Yeah, this isn't quite as expensive. Okay, I think that makes sense. Right, it doesn't make sense to push for other stuff on Aerie. No, we buy Aerie's Optics Research Lab, we buy Ibella's Gamma Analysis Platform. I'm just, like, not doing math well. Whatever, we'll buy that out next turn. And then we probably cut the Spoils of War Act. We got some value from that battle, but I don't think we're going to be winning any big battles in the next couple of turns, and we can reinstate the War Act later. So, what else would we do with this slot? We would run the Green Fertility Bill, right? Assuming that approval... Nope, approval has dropped below the threshold. Well, that's got to be fixed. Can we fix it on a system level? Can we, like, move people around? Oh, that is much less happy. Right. Of course, Lava World is bad. We can do this. But for the moment... Yeah, we could do this for one turn. I don't think that's necessarily bad. Not a big deal, the industry loss. And then with Warden capped on approval again, that might be enough to make us happy without having to... Oh, I forgot to mash the button. Are we going to be able to get this ship out of here? It looks like it's below 60%. Yeah, so we may as well fight. We're just going to get destroyed, but do a little bit of damage on our way out. We don't need to watch this. We know what's going to happen. Yeah, you know what? We scared that spirit. Gotta make him think it's a possibility, right? Okay, so rush that out. That's good for us. Probably want to get this done, even though it's a very small amount of science. It's probably better for us than the Smasher is. Do we want to just go for the truce here? We're probably not. We're not going to win this war. We're not going to win anything of value in this war at this point. I could impose a truce, but she's happy to take it. Can I get anything from her that I would care about? She's not going to give me anything big. I think the answer is no. Yeah. Let's just take that. I'm fine with that. I think the value of that war has come to an end, given how close we are to victory. If I could have taken Osilo, if I had waited for the other Smasher to be done before attacking, there's a version of this that probably does end a little bit faster because we took Osilo and used it to push science, but it's not the version that we are playing right now. So are we better off running Punctuated Evolution Foundation or Gamma Analysis? No, definitely Gamma Analysis is better. It's also cheaper. Which means we might be able to rush some turns off of it at the end here. Pardalis is not going to benefit nearly as much, especially given how small the planets are here, so that, yeah, we can wait and do this later. Yeah, alright, I think we're doing our best. I think we're doing the best stuff we can be doing. Now the question, can I afford to cut Toys for Boys in favor of the Green Fertility Law? Or Fertility Bill, rather. The Green Fertility Bill does also increase industry. Cutting an industry penalty to gain an industry bonus is pretty good. In addition to this thing giving science and additional growth. It would be close, right? I think we can probably at least make it. If this does drop us, we can make it work. Yeah, it took us under, so let's figure this out. Places with high population that we might be able to fiddle with. Pardalis. Pretty happy to be here. We can run this out. That would help a little bit. Sort this by population. So Pardalis, Aerie is a place where we could maybe make a difference. Basically, do we have any cheap approval buildings available anywhere? We gain a little bit of approval doing that, and that It's enough to push us to 85%, but not to loyal, because there's some kind of rounding nonsense happening. We gain a little bit of approval here. We don't particularly like being on these planets. And I'm here because it offers more dust. But, like, if I move this guy to here, gain a little bit more approval, that pushes us up to devoted for the turn. Alright, we're going to have to keep fiddling with this. We should get this. No, we don't. No, we shouldn't. Warden's at ecstatic. What am I thinking? I just capped Warden. I knew that. Yeah, I just need more approval tech. I mean, Power the Endless will solve it, right? We just need that to happen. Okay, I can't help but notice that a turn didn't actually come off the timer there. We're back down to only being loyal. And maybe I'm struggling too much for the very small amount of benefit. Okay, we can still build our gamma analysis platform, though, right? Yeah. I might be struggling too much for the small amount of benefit that the green fertility bill is giving us. And maybe I would be better off just running the approval bill instead. That's probably true. Let's just keep it really ecstatic. And then rebalance population to maximize science output. I think we're pretty maxed on science everywhere else. Yeah, we're definitely running the right stuff here. You know, I'm going to cut the intergalactic supermarket from this. I'm going to let these two finish, and then we'll figure out what else we can do there. And we are going to keep selling stuff on the marketplace and trying to rush important science constructions. So, this should allow us... Nope, we are nowhere near rushing Airy, actually. Maybe in a turn or two. Okay, our population booster ended, which obviously is unacceptable. We need 46 potatoes. We are getting pretty close to our last collection bonus, which will definitely help. 46 sweet potatoes. And I don't want to mess with boosting anybody else because I want the Sophons to be dominant in breeding. We need just a couple more. Okay, yeah, this planet is only large. We are ecstatic here, so there's no reason to worry about. Yeah, let's just do this. Destroy some pirate fleets to get some stuff. That's very much outside of my interest. We have a pretty narrow focus at this point. We could make more dust. Like, I don't need to do these at all. We probably shouldn't cancel the Smasher given how much work we've put into it, but this stuff has some potential to help us get other constructions done through sales, so I think that's probably a higher priority. This is one of those pirate fleets. Which I just don't care about at all. 12k, we probably need to give this another turn or two before we have enough goods to sell to make up the dust to rush it. Warden needs to make one. Then it needs to make one of these. Actually, Warden needs to make a gamma analysis platform, and then it needs to grab another planet. I'm assuming that Warden 3, has better science output, so we'll grab that. I guess we could just rush that. Is that worth doing? It's probably more beneficial to me to rush this, given how slowly Ares building it. Yeah, Warden can actually get stuff done. We'll let it work. Give me a gamma analysis platform over here. We're just going to do all of the gamma analysis. It's not really a big surprise that we got beaten to the punch on that quest. We are very bad at building things. Also, just imagine what could have been if we'd managed to push our faction quest forward at all. I guess we have a truce now. Are they going to let me travel through their territory? Can we maybe explore a little bit? Nah, again, at this point, we're so close to the end that it probably... Oops. Totally missed the merge button. It almost certainly can't matter. Alright. Do we have purchasing power? Do we have the selling power to get to 9.2k? I bet we do. Yeah, we totally do. So let's make that happen. And then, you actually probably want to colonize another world. We're getting pretty close to our pop cap here. That has come to an end, which means that we now have this, which means that we can cut Toys for Boys safely and run... I think the Green Fertility Bill's gotta be better for us than Dirty Hands Act, right? It's producing some amount of extra science and also some amount of extra industry and... Yeah. I think that's right. And we should be... Really, we're not cleanly devoted. We have 20 more approval than we... Last time we cut that bill, we were managing to hang at 85%. Have we really become so much less happy since then? I mean, I guess so. I guess they're not just gonna lie to me. Weird, though. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess we could just suffer for a couple of turns until Power the Endless fixes the problem. I can't cancel this law this turn because I put it in this turn. Yeah, that's super weird. Last time we cut that law, we were at 85 approval, and that was before we got 20 approval from an event. But somehow... Alright, your system is actually maxed out on approval already. Right? Ibella? Yeah. So the second point of this doesn't actually do anything. But does he have a skill that does do anything in this state? I guess we could do this and take a very small amount of dust. We don't have any fertile or we don't have any sterile system planets in this system, I believe. It's mostly fertile. This is gonna have almost as big an effect. They're both garbage. Yeah, he just doesn't, unfortunately, he just doesn't have any relevant skills. Geniocrat would be great. If we could get him to Geniocrat. I guess, yeah, I'll take one of the things that gives dust. So this would be 25%. Alright, so this would be like, this is like 12 dust. And this is 5. Okay, you, on the other hand, totally have a thing that's kind of relevant. That is somewhat relevant. Yeah, it just has to be right to keep our approval high, right? The extra 15% science. It's too good. Man, I can't wait for Power the Endless to actually be finished, though. Alright, so on Ceres, we have now Industry. Actually, this is a really, really ripe place for science improvements. Unfortunately, still too slow to build. That's kind of crazy, given how industry-heavy these planets are, but population's still kind of low. Alright, well, we just need to make more dust. Actually, why don't we put this up here? Push our approval rating up a little bit. Get some... No, we don't need it, because we're about to finish Power the Endless, and then we'll be fine. So, what we want to do here is just get dust and finish things. Alright, that's a fair amount. Apparently this is all I can rush. what I should probably do here, the biggest benefit we're going to get directly is this. So let's hold on. We'll make a little bit more dust via sales. We'll buy ourselves a graviton shielded laboratory. But now that we have Power of the Endless finished, we're going to see both a large increase in our approval and also in all of our outputs, right? Because it's giving +1 approval per citizen on each citizen who's in an ecstatic system. You have no more science gains to make, so I guess pick this up. So we really want to keep all of our systems ecstatic if we can. Which means I guess we don't want to cut the approval law. Yeah, every citizen produces one of every resource if their system is ecstatic. If we were to cut Toys for Boys, we couldn't replace it with anything super powerful anyway. Yeah, we just keep it running. Because if we cut it, we'll lose the resource output from these guys, and probably from some other places, right? Some places would drop from ecstatic. Yeah, let's just keep it as it is. And sell things. Always selling. Right, that'll get us that laboratory. I guess it probably makes sense to do this. Yeah, it's not really a big loss of industry. Oh, sure, yeah, I should probably not go totally bankrupt. Non-Pardalis. I don't know. There's not really anything to build here that's super relevant to our goals anymore. I sold all my everything, didn't I? Well, as far as not going bankrupt goes, we could disband ships. Like we don't actually need these ships. This thing's not doing anything for us. We'll sell a ship on the marketplace. That'll give us enough lead time to sell resources next turn. Ibella has, yeah, absolutely nothing of value to build. We could terraform, but I don't really want to terraform away from being a cold planet. It's actually very beneficial to us for this to be cold. Yeah. Alright, I think this is right. This is the next biggest value we could get from spending dust, but it looks like it probably won't be enough to buy us a turn. Oh, that's a shame. So that dropped a couple of our systems out of ecstatic. It cost us a turn of science. So you actually cannot build anything relevant at all. Well, would it affect our research rate at all for me to pick up lava colonization? Like if I threw this at the beginning of the queue. Yep, it totally does add turns. Never mind. Almost certainly not worth the effort of fixing it. Alright, that gives us solvency, for the moment at least. Temporary solvency. How far are we from completing this? 11k right now. We're going to see like 1,000 and change come off of that each turn. Yeah, by the time we can buy that out, it's not going to be relevant anymore. It's not going to give us a turn off of our tech. I mean, I think we're doing the right thing. I guess, yeah, build that. Not really anything else for you to do. The next Sophon birth is a big one, but I don't think it, I think it is also unlikely to take... Well, actually, how big is the technology cost reduction? 20%. No, that absolutely will take turns off of this. We have room for that, right? Like, if that's actually going to happen, that birth. We have a bunch of systems where we have a ton of space. Yeah, okay. That birth is totally going to happen. Alright. Yeah, that's good. That'll actually, that'll help quite a bit. So, 4 turns, we're looking at a... Oh, back to Cold War with us. Looking at like a turn 98 victory, that's very good. I mean, that's a good speed. It felt like the game wasn't going that well. I guess here's what you could build that would totally be helpful if you could get it done in time. We won't, but it would help. Yeah, not really anything else to do here. I think we just hit this button 4 times. So you just queue up some construction. I still think that's our biggest gain. So, like, let's sell everything we have. If we can get that done this turn, maybe it takes a turn off of the timer. I doubt it will, but I think it's the thing that would, if anything, would. I can't imagine. I think we're just done. I think it's just a matter of hitting the button a couple more times. So yeah, a little sloppy, for sure. I did not maximize here. But I think we came out of kind of a weak start. Apparently there's a system right there. We came out of what I would define as, honestly, a pretty weak start to a pretty fast victory. I'm feeling a lot better about my play as a whole lately. A much better grasp of the systems and a much better mastery of them. Which is not to say that I have mastered them, but I am closer to having mastered them, if that's a little clearer. More understanding. Yeah, apparently there was a system right here the whole time. I was so busy sending probes off in this direction that I totally missed it. By the way, look at this. We've actually revealed almost all of the space to our west. It's not just probe paths going off. We've crisscrossed it so much, there's only tiny little areas of unexplored space. 10 approval on systems on Empire is... This is the button I want. Actually not really relevant anymore. 2 points of population is, though, and also I get to feel like I'm not a horrible monster. Both of these things are beneficial. So our boost just ran out. We need 52 space potatoes, which we can, I'm certain, afford. How much money are we looking at there? Like 4K? We can make it to 4K, right? Yeah, easy. Give me those potatoes. Okay, let's finish this up. It was, a big part of us doing well out of this start here, I think, was me having a better grasp of the importance of food, doing a better job of, like, stewarding our population. It still wasn't perfectly, we still didn't even have all of the planets in our systems. But you make trade-offs for stuff like that, right? When you stop off to get a colonization tech, you are reducing your rate of gain toward your science goal. So, is that worth it? You have to figure out the places where it is. And that stuff is still more opaque to me than I would like. We're just queuing things up here. And it's hard, right? It's a complicated issue. There's a lot of math involved in figuring out if any particular deviation from the plan is a gain or is a loss and how much time it needs. Like, all of them, on an infinite time scale, are gains, right? Anytime you gain resource income, it's just a matter of figuring out where the actual end of the graph is, whether the two lines have crossed yet by the time they get to the end. Let's watch our ending. We totally earned it. Honestly, it didn't feel like I was working that hard that game, but we earned it.
There are no pesky gods to interfere or annoy us now. So, what do we do next? You know, it'd be neat to figure out what went wrong with Enfa.
I believe if you finish the plot line, Enfer freaks out and you have to shut it down. You have to destroy its fleets and shut it down. And then you're supposed to be a little chilled by that ending. But, oh no, they're going to mess with it again because, of course, they can't help themselves. Our overall score is, like, very middling here. We didn't do all the things that generate score. But we did win the game. It's hard to argue with that result. Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave in the comments down below what you would like to see next. I actually still really want to play Vaulters again. Vaulters lend themselves to a scientific playstyle, of course, but an aggressive scientific playstyle. That might be an interesting game, or if you would like to see another faction, or if you would like to see some custom game stuff, you know, like I said, leave it in the comments below and come back Monday to see what we're up to. And we'll see you then.